Frederickburg is a bubbly 8-year-old.
I run around just like doing this. This!
Maija was born with spinal muscular atrophy. It means her muscles are slowly getting weaker.
We were told that she would have respiratory issues. It's terrifying because she can go from being incredibly well to really desperately ill really quickly, within hours.
Straightening her spine has the potential to improve her quality of life, but it's major surgery and there are no guarantees.
We have to be really sure that it is the right thing to do, because the possibility of her not making it through is a real one.
Children with spinal muscular atrophy have lower life expectancy.
Yeah, you're right.
Doctors didn't expect Maija to reach school age.
I think she's incredibly strong in herself. She's also determined and stubborn and willful, but you know, all of those things are going to hold her in good stead as well.
Do you want to get her a drink of water?
I think because she can't experience life like a normal 8-year-old girl would, she's quite naive. So she's still got this really lovely imagination and lack of inhibition, and that shows through in her writing.
There's this story about peace, and it's about what I like to do when I get in peace. Peace looks like a beautiful green tree. Peace sounds like the wind flowing. Peace smells like caramel and mint. Peace tastes like chocolate and mint. Peace feels like a beautiful butterfly kiss.
Maija lives on Waiheke Island with her parents and older brother. Carers support the family with school pickups, appointments and physio.
We're going to do some stretching, okay?
Each day they move her limbs to help keep her supple. Maija was nearly 6 months old before her mum noticed there was anything wrong.
She met all the milestones up until she was about 5 months old. You know, you put your baby on their tummy and they're meant to do the pushing up sort of thing, and she just lay there with her head on the ground, and, you know, you bounce your baby on your legs and they push back, and she was just not pushing back.
Am I on the edge?
Yeah. Okay, swing you around. You ready?
So we went and saw the doctor, and the doctor was checking reflexes and stuff in her knees and ankles, and they weren't going. So she sent a referral off to Starship.
I'm putting a concert on at school.
That sounds wonderful.
And so I just went over to Starship thinking that they were actually just going to say, well, she's a bit of a lazy baby or whatever. And they came up with a provisional diagnosis of spinal muscular atrophy. So, I mean, my world crashed. I really didn't expect it. Didn't expect it at all. And then had to come home and tell my husband.
Okay, you need to get off the truck for me.
I guess now we're in a place where we have our life here and we have a good life, and our life is normal to us.
Go back a bit.
Yeah.
She's inspiring, you know, Maija's inspiring.
Wander around to your playground.
George could give you a bounce on there.
I mean, we're so lucky that George is so amazing. He's stunning, and he's a really lovely brother. He has to always wait, and we are always busy with Maija, and we spend a lot of time telling him that just because we spend more time with Maija doesn't mean we love him less.
Superman!
Maija's muscles will continue to weaken. She has just enough strength to control her power chair.
Her controller is super sensitive, and really she hardly has to touch it to move it. And it probably only moves that far either way, and that's all she has to do.
Hi, Dad.
How much do you want?
I just might have them on my plate, like 2 slices.
Okay. She can't really use a knife and fork. She doesn't have the strength to get anything on a fork. She can't push. She can hold a fork, but she can't push it hard enough to spear anything. Then she also doesn't have that. She can't move her, so she can get. Sometimes she can get things on a spoon, and that's awesome, and it's like that. But then she can't bend her hand to get it into her mouth. So she's got it on the. But then, what do you do with that? So, and sometimes she can. Sometimes, if it's a good day, she can lift it up like that. But most of the time, she doesn't have the strength to lift it up. So mainly it's fingers. Maija, you know you're not allowed to drive around while you're eating. Can you come and park over here? Keep still, please. Round there. Okay, I'm going to turn you off this way.
In her 8 years, Maija has battled to stay well. Her spine is curving as she grows. That puts pressure on her lungs. Breathing's difficult and she's susceptible to infection. A simple cold can rapidly turn into life-threatening pneumonia. Maija sleeps attached to a ventilator, or VPAP, to help her breathe through the night.
She wears it probably 98% of the time, but she actually sleeps much better with it on than she doesn't. Before we go to bed, we probably turn her 2 or 3 times. Usually that's 3 times turning before she goes to sleep, and then about 3 times before we go to bed, and then good night's about 4 times up, and an average is about 6 times, and a bad night's about 8.
Last night I was pumping out water.
Is it? Maybe the humidifier's up too high. We don't set the alarm or anything, and I think she just, just like most people, you get uncomfortable lying on the same side. And why do you call out in the night, Maija?
Because I get hot.
Yeah, and what else?
Can't get to sleep.
Thirsty? Want to be turned over? Yeah.
Surgery is the only chance to improve her quality of life. It will straighten her back, giving her lungs more room to breathe. Maija's been booked for surgery before. Last time her little body was too weak to cope with the rigorous surgery and recovery. Today, Maija's been admitted to Starship Hospital to monitor her breathing levels. Jessie and Fred are eager for the surgery to go ahead. Doctors want evidence that Maija's well enough. She must be in the best shape possible.
Are you going a big splash?
I'm getting like a big rain, but it's not.
And Maija, this one is
I'm getting splashed. I'm getting splashed.
Ah! Oi! Ow!
Salty anyway. All right. Now, my love, you can have a little bit longer out here, but it's really windy and really cold.
No, I'm fine. I want to play. Ah! Splash me again. I want to play around though.
The Starship clinicians will chart Maija's breathing patterns.
Tonight, before she goes to sleep, they put a camera on her, and the ones on her head measure her different levels of sleep, and the ones on her chest measure her breathing and her heart rate.
Maija's parents are convinced the breathing machines have improved her health. If the tests back that up, she'll be approved for surgery.
And out. 2 more. In. And out. It's been amazing. It's really helped with her not getting as sick as she used to. She used to get very sick very quickly with her lungs sort of filling up with gunk and her not being able to cough it out because she's got such weak muscles. So this machine has just been brilliant as far as keeping her well. Go on then.
I can't bite it, but I can lift it.
That's good. I just want you to sit back because I don't want you to flop over while I'm not here, okay?
Okay.
Stay there. No, don't. It's not funny. Freak me out.
I know.
Okay.
It's looking at the ground.
Yeah, well, don't. Well done, honey.
I've been so patient.
You have been very good. Okay?
The results of her breathing test look hopeful, but the surgeon has the final say. As Maija grows, her spine's becoming more bent. There's only a small window for when the surgery can be performed. If the curvature's too great, they can't operate.
Back over here, over here.
Oh. Yeah. Sitting with her back against the board first, that's right. Alright, just keep your hands out to the side. Yep. Should be all good. Alright, very still for us.
G'day.
Hi.
How are you? See you. Hey, Maija.
Maija.
How are you?
Good.
All right. Remember me? Good. How are you guys?
Okay.
Good. And you've had an X-ray today, you tell me. Shall we have a look at that? This is the front-on one today.
The X-ray is looking hopeful.
So we've talked about the back surgery with Maija and about the fact that if she has some rods in her back that will help her be straight.
Yep.
And I know Maija says that she's sick of flopping. It's getting harder and harder to keep her straight with lateral support and seating and stuff. And certainly when you, for instance, put her on the toilet chair, she's right over.
Yep.
I have a question. I think it would gonna make me fall over.
The whole idea, love, of making your back straight is so you sit up better in your chair. So you don't have to rest on your arm like you're doing now. You won't topple over when you're on the toilet. It'll just help you sit up straighter. And then that'll take some pressure off your tummy and your lungs, and it will actually help you breathe a bit better as well.
Then I won't be able to do trampoline again.
Sure, you'll be able to do trampoline.
Because that was one thing we do ask, because she enjoys a bit of a bounce.
You'll be able to do all the things that you used to do. 18.
She is. Only one, though.
Only one for both of us.
So I wanted Maija not to be in the room while we talk about the surgery and what that entails and things. The big dilemma for you guys is with patients like her and other patients which have neurological problems and breathing issues is how long you stay on a ventilator for afterwards and advantages and disadvantages for the child in doing that. And I have this discussion with all parents with children like Maija, so you're not the only people to have this, is yes, she has a chance of dying in this perioperative period for this operation. Most parents then want to know what's the percentage chance of that, and I think that's a really realistic question to ask. There is no percentage you can give for someone like Maija. I think you just got to be confident that she will do fine. I think you have to accept, though, in your own mind that there is a possibility of her not surviving.
Questions?
All right, it's a lot to assimilate, but have a think, give us a call, and
Okay, so we just call Tina?
forward. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you. It's a little bit of a worry to think that we've got to do it sooner rather than later, and sooner is going to have us plotted right in the middle of winter.
I think it's best for her, but you know, it's scary. And I think it's hard because no one will say, yes, you have to do it. It's up to us, and that just, it's so hard. I mean, people say, oh, I don't know how you do it. Well, you don't have a choice. You just do it. You have to. And, I mean, Maija just had a cry before because she wanted me to, all the other mummies go and pick up their kids from school, and I don't. It's caregivers that pick Maija up. But, you know, we've got a mortgage to pay and bills to pay, and we can't afford for one of us to be off work. We do try and stagger our work so that we can be around as much as we can. A lot of friends say, oh, you know, I don't do enough and stuff, but actually, and same with mum and stuff, but actually what you want is your mum and you want your friends. You don't actually want people to come and care for Maija. You want your life, that little bit of normalcy to stay. I mean, your life completely changes. One appointment at a hospital and your whole life changes irreplaceably from that day. And it's really important for me that I have a girlfriend to come over and have a glass of wine every now and again and, you know, have a bitch about your husband and all those normal things. Those normal things are so precious, you hang on to them.
Maija's parents have thought long and hard and are as confident as they can be that surgery is the right option. Now they just want it to happen.
I think we're leaning quite heavily towards doing the surgery. You know, not being able to make eye contact with people and looking really different for children is something that people won't approach her as much and stuff like that. So there's a sort of social side of why we want to do it. There's the obvious health benefits for her internal organs and stuff.
We have to give this chance to Maija. I mean, we can't not do it, and just for our own reasons. We have to give her the best chance of a better life that we can give her, or not, and just, you know, just have her for as long as we can have her. Turn around and tell us what you think about having the spinal rods.
Well, I think it would be great for me to be straight. And the spirals, I think I can cope with that. And I hope I get straight very soon. Very, very soon.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation has planned a weekend full of activities for the family. They're booked into a top hotel. It's time away as a family, but the operation is never far from their minds.
I love the swimming pool. Hang on. Oh, no, not this way. It's okay.
I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to frighten her, but we've tried to give her a fairly good idea. She understands that she's going to be a bit sore afterwards and that she's going to have a tube in her throat to help her breathe.
Right, so Tina's going to kind of give you a big bear hug under the arms.
Oh, like yesterday. 1, 2, 3, and up you go. 1, 2, 3.
The doctor wants to check her spine one last time.
And what we're looking for there, Mum, is that
Right, let's go back up again one more time.
you
Okay,
can see the big
so,
bend this way when she does that, and when Tina
2,
lifts her up,
3.
that comes up.
Am I strong?
Yeah. Quite straight, so that's good. Okay,
And
well done.
down. Oh, did you have a good time at Halloween?
Well, May, have you got any questions you want to ask her?
In my back, it just keeps on curving me that way.
Yep.
And in the sling, sometimes I get almost like you're gonna fall out and crooked, and my head keeps on flopping.
Well, hopefully that's why you're going to have the
Well, the rods will help hold your back straight, but it won't necessarily change the floppiness of your neck because the muscles go all the way up to hold your head. But at the same time, if your shoulders aren't on an angle, it hopefully will make it easier for you to hold your head up. So that'll be good, won't it? Eh?
The Twinkle Toes Fairy. Her toes glitter at night. They are purple and her dress is pink. A little fairy did some magic. It was about learning magic for the baby fairies.
She'll be in surgery for 3 hours. Her recovery post-anaesthetic will be critical.
She woke up probably about an hour after we were allowed into the recovery to see her. They'd taken her off the ventilator in theatre and just put her onto her VPAP. We had one night in intensive care instead of many nights, which we expected.
She wanted to get out of bed after a couple of days, so we got her out of bed and put her in a power chair. And the first thing that they noticed was, her head was this much taller than her headrest, because that's how much she'd grown just from the rods being put in and the spine being straight.
Mate, which one should I get down? That one? The one you just picked up before? Yeah, never.
3 months later, Maija's lively as ever.
Something. I found something interesting. We should probably take it home.
She's more comfortable, and that makes a difference when she's playing.
It was okay. It just was a bit scary at the first place. I thought things wouldn't go out and it would hurt and stuff. And it was good. I got out of hospital really quickly. I have noticed I'm sitting up a lot straighter as well. And also I don't fall down for a while.
We've been so worried about it for 2 years. It was such a massive, massive decision to make. And then we were so scared and it was just beyond our wildest dreams that it went so well. We're just amazed. And it does feel like the weight of the world is really lifted off our shoulders.
The lion and the mouse went for a walk. to the shops and bought paints. They went back to the cave and painted the cave blue, green, yellow and pink. And the mouse climbed on the lion's back and they had a swim.